we are going to get started here in just a couple of minutes. I'm going to give some time for everyone to come in. As you come in, if this is the first time you've been here, good afternoon. If this is the first time you've been here, would you please put a 1 in the box along with your first name? And y'all forgive me for just a second. Our lighting is a little goofy. So while I'm fixing that, if you all would, go ahead and invite your followers. Give me one sec. It's a little dark in here. And I'm not really sure why, because it's super bright and sunny out. So I don't know if my tablet is perhaps doing some correction with its own lighting or what. So if you wouldn't mind taking just a moment to let everyone come in. Hello, hello, hello. As I said, we are going to be discussing some things today that some of your followers might find helpful. So if you would like to invite them, please feel free to do so by tapping on the little Perry man, and that will enable you to be able to invite them. Okay, so you're just going to click share broadcast and then share with all followers. So today we are going to be talking about 7 ways to build better relationships that lead to a better business. Okay, is everybody ready for that? Put a 1 in the box if you're ready. Y'all are being quiet so far this morning, this afternoon, depending on where you're at. Awesome, awesome. Thank you, thank you. Also, don't forget, as we're going throughout the discussion, if you hear something that you like, thank you for that. Give some hearts there on the screen by just tapping there. So those of you here live or on the replay, those hearts do work. Go ahead and give a tap, tap, tap. And that will let me know that I am providing you with some content that you find to be useful. For those of you joining us on YouTube, thank you so much for joining us here as well. And don't forget, you can catch us live on Periscope at Buffy Hood. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Buffy Hood. I am a jeweler with Premier Designs and been in direct sales for almost 9 years. Now, y'all, for those of you who know my story, you know that direct sales was not something that was what I consider to be a natural fit, but it was something that the Lord had in plans for me, and I'm just glad that I was obedient and followed through. While it wasn't something I ever dreamed of doing, now I can't imagine doing anything else. So I get a lot of joy out of simply helping other people who perhaps have their own Premier Designs jewelry business or are perhaps in another direct sales company as well. I don't discriminate, okay? All right, so if you are ready to hear 7 ways to build a better relationship, would you put a 1 in the box for me if you're ready? Let's make sure everyone's ready to go. Are we ready, ready, ready? Awesome. There's one. Hey, Jazz. Hey, Nita. Okay. All right. Look, she says, let's do this. I like that. Okay. So here's the first thing. Are you ready for this? Build your network. Go meet people. Hey, Becky. Go meet people. Okay, so that is first and foremost, you need to make sure that you're building up your network. Okay, make sure that you are always meeting new people and adding new people into what some call kind of the pipeline. Okay, because here's the thing, not everybody that you meet, not everybody that you come in contact with will necessarily want to do business with you, and that's okay. But you want to make sure that you're not giving them a reason to not want to do business with you. Does that make sense? Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about those ways to make sure that you are giving them a reason to want to do business with you, not to turn around and run the other way. But you do want to make sure that you are building your network. So that's the first thing to building better relationships, is you have to find people to have relationships with. Okay, so the first is build your network. Okay, and if anybody would like to be a little note taker and put that in the box for me as number 1, build your network, please feel free to do so. That way anybody watching on the replay will know exactly what those points were. Okay, all right, now the second one is communication. Okay, thank you so much for that. Communication. Do it early and do it often. So here's what that means. When you meet someone and you give them a business card, don't assume that if you finally reach back out to them in another 3, 4, 5, or 6 months, that they're even going to remember meeting you. Okay, if they met you one time and you handed them a business card, they're not going to have any clue who you are if you wait that long. Okay, so instead, make sure that you're following up immediately, even if it's just to send a quick little email when you get home that says, you know, it was such a pleasure to meet you today. I look forward to serving you in the future. Okay, or something along those lines. All right. Also, in terms of communication, communication is a two-way street. That means not only do we speak, but we also listen. You need to make sure that when it comes to your potential customers, prospects, whatever, that you are becoming a very good listener, that you're listening to what their needs are, that you're listening to how you can serve them. Don't just start telling them how you can serve them. Ask how you can serve them and then do that. Okay? All right. Third, yes, collection of business cards for people you do not remember. Yes, that, and it's a sad thing, isn't it? You sit there and you look at it and you go, how in the world did I wind up with this? Where would I have met this person? Why did they give me their info? I actually just threw a business card out the other day. I have no idea where the business card came from. Don't even know why I would have had it. Okay. All right. So number 3 is email marketing. We're going to touch on that. Don't worry. Okay. Email marketing is third. Listen, y'all, it is the cheapest way to stay in touch. All right. So if you are on a very tight budget, email is going to be your best friend. Okay. Now, how many of you, by show of 1 in the box, how many of you have ever heard of MailChimp.com? Put a 1 in the box if you've ever heard of it, and put a 2 in the box if you use it. Thank you for that, Becky. 2, you use it on occasion. Okay. Okay. All right. So MailChimp.com is an awesome resource for being able to send out emails. Okay. I'm going to give you just a real quick, and I want you, somebody, if you wouldn't mind, put that in the comments so people can get that. It's MailChimp, as in the monkey. Okay. MailChimp.com. Okay. And I'm going to give you a quick rundown of what it can do, but please, y'all, go check it out. Okay. So you can add your contacts. You can add them via categories. You can also create campaigns for being able to send out emails. It is amazing. Amazing. Oh, thank you. If only you knew that the only reason my hair looks like this is because I need to get a shower, and I didn't want to do it before the scope because I was going to be late. So I decided that I was going to sit here and watch a movie with my girls instead of going and getting a shower, and figured I'll get my shower after the scope. So yeah, I just didn't feel like doing anything with my hair, so I just pulled it up. So that's what y'all get. Okay. But the awesome thing is you can create campaigns. So as an example, you would be able to create a campaign for, let's say, people who have taken an interest in learning more about your business opportunity. So you could keep that campaign saved, and then anytime someone shows an interest in your business opportunity, you can add them to the category of showed interest in business opportunity, and you can send them that campaign that has all the information already in there, has the links already in there. You can add a little bit of personalization if you want to say, it's so great to meet you at such and such, but the bones of it would all be there for you already. So you don't have to try to keep constantly recreating an email. And they actually have layouts for you that allows you to simply just pull in pictures or fill in your own text and that kind of thing. It looks amazing. And if anybody should decide that they want to, you would really only need to update the campaigns. No, well, you mean update your categories? So meaning as in adding new people to those campaigns? Is that what you're talking about? Okay, so yeah. So if you're adding to, I would recommend when you are creating your schedule that we're all going to create, right? And don't worry, I haven't forgotten. I am working on it. Okay. So you would just want to create a schedule for yourself, and when you are entering in their information into like Hidden House or whatever, when you're entering in their order information or their guest survey information, you could certainly pop right on to MailChimp and add them to whatever category over there they wish to be added to. Now, here's the awesome thing though. If they decide that they want to unsubscribe, there's an unsubscribe link for them. They can unsubscribe themselves. So no longer are the days of somebody commenting back or replying back to one of your emails that you sent through your regular Comcast account or your regular whatever, and them asking to be removed from the newsletter listing, and then you have to try to remember to go back in there and take care of that, and you always worry about adding them back to something that they asked to be removed from, whatever. So it's awesome because they can take themselves off. It also does tell you, here's the awesome thing, it also gives you insights to every campaign that's ever sent out and tells you who opened it. It tells you what links, if any, they clicked on. So you then have the information. So let's say you send somebody email that says, thank you so much for your interest regarding our business opportunity. Here's a link that would provide you some information. I would love to chat with you, whatever. You can see when they've opened that and when they've opened the link. And then guess what? You know that they've already seen the information and that it would be safe for you to follow up with them and say you were just checking back in to see if they had any questions. Okay, so I love that. You can also see who's basically kind of maybe getting the emails but ignoring them. If it bounces, it'll let you know. It's ridiculous. It truly is ridiculous. So go check it out. Create as many different categories, campaigns, whatever. Have a blast with it. You will love it. Okay, but having something that is that simple and easy to use would allow you more of an opportunity to make sure that you are keeping up with that. Okay, now I'm not telling you to spam people. Okay, I'm not telling you to spam them, but either as an example, and don't just send things asking for a sale or asking for a booking or asking them to join your team. Send things occasionally that would also be just fashion tips. Send them something that would just be a beautiful jewelry combination. Send them something that just says, I was just checking in, especially if there's someone who's purchased from you, to send them something that says, I was just checking in to make sure that you are still enjoying your jewelry. Okay? All kinds of different things. All right? Yes, it's awesome. And that is the other awesome thing. It's free. Okay? There is a paid subscription, but I've never found a need to have that. Okay, I think it depends on how many people you're sending to and all that kind of good stuff. So yes, and I also use it. I use it for my downline. I use it for all kinds of different things. Okay, all right. Number 4. You ready for number 4? Put a 4 in the box if you're ready for number 4. 4, 4, 4. Yes, I know, right? Free. It's MailChimp, like the monkey. Chimp. Yep. Okay, 4. Awesome. All right. Repeat customers are the bomb. Okay? Repeat customers are the bomb. A repeat customer who's already begun a relationship with you will on average spend, are you ready for this? 67% more than a brand new customer. Y'all, don't feel like you have to keep going and finding new customers. Yes, you do need to have people in your pipeline, but don't forget about your repeat customers, okay? That is going to help you much more than just constantly going out and searching for new names, all right? So you want to make sure that you're keeping your customers happy and that they are happy to continue doing business with you, because a repeat customer, I love how you added that. Repeat customers will absolutely do more for your business than a new customer any day. Okay. All right. So as an example, some of the things you can do to keep them loyal to you is offer some sort of loyalty program. Okay. So that could, as an example, it could be a frequent buyer card that perhaps maybe after, they purchase so many at regular price, they get one at half price. Or if you really want to, get them excited, you give them something free. Okay. Here's the thing. If they've already spent full price on, let's say, 10 items, don't you think that perhaps after 10 items at full price that maybe you could do with one, free? I mean, seriously. Yeah, so Penny Lacey might have one. I had created one myself at some point and just purchased it off of Vistaprint. And for anybody who loves Vistaprint, by the way, today is 50% off site-wide. Okay, so you can get on there to Vistaprint and get anything that you have been wanting to get and needing to order today. You can get it 50% off. Just saying. Okay. All right. So let's see here. Okay, 5. You ready for 5? 5, 5, 5. Put a 5 in the box. 5, 5, 5. Only a couple hostesses have rebooked. Ooh, you need to figure out why they haven't rebooked. Maybe it's because you just gave them so much that they haven't needed anything new yet. But you want to make sure that you are getting your hostesses rebooked within like the next year. Okay. There was a question about Vistaprint, but I didn't catch it. Wait and ask me after. Okay. All right. So 5. Loyal customers make great referral centers. Okay. So when you have those loyal customers, then they are going to be able to act as a referral center for you. But if they don't remember you, or if you gave them an experience not worth remembering you, okay, then they're not going to be able to be a referral for you. So you want to make sure that you are treating them in such a way that they are always going to remember you and are always going to want to send their friends and family to you because they know that they will be taken care of. Okay. So point blank, if you're being shady, they're not going to send their friends and family to you. Okay. If you're seeming a little standoffish, they're not going to send their friends and family to you. If you treat them in a way that they almost look at you like you're being kind of snotty, they're not going to send their friends and family to you. Okay. Be happy to serve them, be there for them, care about them above the sale, and they will refer their friends and family. Okay. All right. 6. Who's ready for 6? 6, 6, 6. Are we ready for 6? Give me a 6. Give me a 6. Give me a 6. 6. And we need to have more than 3 6s, or I'm not going to tell you. Get a 4th 6 up there. Somebody. There we go. Isn't that weird? Okay. That's awesome, Becky. Okay. So this one is be willing to go the extra mile. Be willing to go the extra mile. Trust me, the extra mile highway is pretty bare these days. Okay. That extra mile highway is pretty stinking bare. There's not going to be a lot of traffic there. Okay. And the reason why is because so many people started focusing on the profit above the people. Okay. We need to remember that we are in the people business. We are in the service business. Okay. This is not about just your bottom line. Yes, we are in a business to make money, but here's the thing. You can go the extra mile for people and do things for them without being taken advantage of. All right. I'm not saying go out and be taken advantage of. I'm not saying go out and give away the farm. I'm not saying go into debt when you're trying to have a business. I'm not saying go into debt trying to make everybody happy. But here's what I'm saying. Be willing to go the extra mile. It really does not take that much. Here's what I mean by doing that. If you say you're going to do something, do it. Okay? If you say you're going to do something by a certain day, do it. If you say you're going to call them at a certain time, do it. All right? If they are unhappy with something, let's say, yes, jewelry is just a vehicle. Okay, so let me give you an example. Okay, I had someone who had purchased something. She waited way past the 5 days to let me know that she was not happy with it. And so I said to her, I said, well, girl, why didn't you let me know when you first got it? And she's like, oh, well, I thought that eventually I would fall in love with it. And I, I wanted to keep giving it a shot. And I, it just still doesn't, I can't seem to fall in love with it the way I was hoping. So what I offered was for me to take that piece, put it on my display table at my next sample sale, and try to sell it for her. And if I sold it for her, then she could pick something else out of the same or greater value, and she simply pays the difference. Okay. So then that way she was still having that exchanged. She wasn't stuck with a piece that she wasn't happy with, but I also wasn't having to, because here's the thing, I already had that piece on my table. Okay. So I wasn't just necessarily going to absorb the cost, but it was, well, I tell you what, I can take it from you, try to sell it off my table, and as soon as it sells, I'll let you know and we can get you something different. She was thrilled with that. Okay. If you offer that and she's still like, I don't know, I really want something now. Well, first, yes, she should have let you know within the first 5 days and you would have been able to get her something new right away. Okay. But you could simply say that there again, if it's a piece you don't have on your display, basically buy it from her, put it on your display. And then that way she's taken care of, you're taken care of, you now have a new piece on your display that you didn't previously have, and you can get her something else that she is going to be in love with. Okay, so there's lots of different things that you can do to really kind of stand out and go that extra mile. We do, as an example, David and I also do offer repair for jewelry. So if they damage their piece through an accident or a life hazard kind of thing, and it can be repaired, then we do our best to repair it for them free of charge. All they have to do is get it to us. If we're not able to repair it and it doesn't fall under our golden guarantee because it was a misuse or an accident or whatever, then we allow them to get it at our cost, or we do it for, we get it to them for free when they host a show. So being able to offer those kind of things, then that just makes them feel like, oh, okay, well, she's going to take good care of me, so I'm going to stay with her. Okay, so just some things to think about. All right, and 7. Anybody ready for 7? 777. Yeah, the oops guarantee. We call it the Buffy and David guarantee. We always say, so if it doesn't fall under the golden guarantee, then we're going to try to give it to you under the Buffy and David guarantee. All right, so 7. If you're ready for 7, put a 7 in the box. Awesome, awesome. All right, this one is a little bit controversial. Okay, not everybody agrees with me on this. Imagine that. Okay, all right, so 7 is be willing to get friendly with your customers. Okay, here's what I mean by that. If you are going to have a Facebook page, okay, so we're talking a business page, all right, a business page allows them to follow you, but doesn't necessarily allow you into their life. Okay, so what I have been doing is I add customers, hostesses, prospects, whatever, to my personal Facebook page as a friend. Okay, now here's why. First, it allows me the opportunity to see into their life, to get to know their family, to get to know their needs, to see their lifestyle, to see if they're in need of anything in terms of maybe they're in need of prayer, maybe they're in need of whatever, okay? But it also allows them to be able to do the same with you. It allows them a chance to get to know you, to get to know your family, to get to know your friends, to get to know your hobbies, your interests, your everything else, okay? And yes, it can be a time sucker. You got to watch that. but there again, that comes into our time management of scheduling ourselves time to be on Facebook, to be able to do those things, to build those relationships. Okay. Because here's the thing, right now, more people are on Facebook than any other social media, and they do put a lot of things there. Yes, I do advertise business things on my personal page, but that being said, I try to really, if you're going to do that on your personal page, and I know that I don't always follow this because I go in spurts, but it really should be probably like 10 personal posts to every one business post. So you don't want to be spamming everyone. All right. But there are times that I do because there's really awesome information happening all kind of one shot. Like there have been times where I was offering a promotion and then the very next day Premier was offering a promotion and all kinds of things. So sometimes it does get more businessy, if you will, but you can always find a balance there. You can always go back and take posts off, whatever, so that it's not looking totally business like, if that makes sense. Okay. But here's the thing. I also do not put, Anita, I don't know why. Look, Premier is part of your business, or part of your life. Okay. Don't, the same way that people get on their pages and complain about having to get up to go to a job that they hate. Look, I'm going to put on there how much I love having a job that I get to get up anytime that I want and, make a decent amount of money going outside of my home for just a couple of hours playing in jewelry and serving ladies. Okay. So it's kind of the same type thing. Premier is a big part of my life, and those who are on my Facebook, they know that and they figure that out. Okay. And if they don't like it, they can choose to not be on there. But yes, if you do it at the 10-to-1 ratio, then absolutely. Okay. There's a policy about social media with Premier. They just don't want you to spam it. Yes. Okay. So the policy, here's the thing with the policy of Premier on social media. If you are on a friends only page, Premier could care. They don't care what you post in terms of your business. Okay. When this first started, when social media first came into play, yes, there was a strict no internet policy. Like, we were not allowed to share the golden guarantee. We were not allowed to share the hostess plan. We were not allowed to share promotions, whatever, unless it was done through email only. That was the only way that we were allowed to get that information out there. Premier has since changed that to where if you are in a relationship with those people, meaning people that have chosen to be friends with you on Facebook, then they are okay with that. And even your business like pages, they are in the process of looking at some things there, because in order for your information to show up in someone's newsfeed, they would have to first like your page in order for that to start showing up in their newsfeed. So even that they're looking at as, kind of changing and altering some of that. Okay. But on your Facebook page, if you are set to a friends only profile, which means you are not a public profile, you are absolutely okay to put that on there. Okay. You're okay to put that stuff on there. And consider this. Okay. Premier themselves are on Facebook now. All right. And they offer images and things like that for us to be able to share for a reason. But yes, you do want to make sure that you're watching the amount that you're putting on there. Don't spam the daylights out of your friends, but your friends also have to understand that Premier is a huge part of your life and that it's okay for you to be excited about things. Okay. Just like it's okay for them to be depressed about their job they have to go to Monday through Friday. All right. Also, the other thing that I will touch on with this is it does allow for more frequent communication than most other outlets. Okay. Because as they're posting pictures of their kids or they're posting pictures about whatever, you can do a quick little like or do a quick comment or whatever, and that will gradually build that relationship. Okay. It doesn't always have to be that you're sending them an email or that you're private messaging them, whatever. It can just be quick little things, because that keeps your name in front of their face, and it will also keep your information showing up in their news feed, because if y'all didn't know, Facebook does work off of algorithms. So what that means is if you stop communicating with one of your Facebook friends, you will notice that they no longer show up in your news feed. And that's because Facebook has determined that you don't care about seeing what they post, because you have not communicated with them on any of their posts by sharing, liking, commenting, etc. All right, or that you haven't sent them a private message, whatever. And if you don't believe me, think about somebody that you haven't seen come up in your newsfeed for a really long time. Go to their page. You'll find out that chances are you're still friends, but you haven't seen anything that they've posted for the last several months. And that may be because you haven't commented on anything on their page in a really long time. So, but if you suddenly send them a private message to say, hey, haven't seen you come up on my newsfeed in a while, just wanted to check in, suddenly you will start seeing all of their things in your newsfeed again. Okay, so just something to be aware of. All right, but as long as you are communicating with those people, then you will continue to see them in their newsfeed, because then Facebook views that as these are people that you actually like and want to know about. Okay, all right, the other thing that I will add to that is if you are going to be friendly with them on Facebook or on any other social media, please remember that you are still representing your business. Okay, remember that you are still representing your business. So, as an example, okay, I will never have anything posted on my page that is vulgar in any way. I will never post anything that has cussing in it. I will never post anything of me cussing. I will never post anything of friends getting drunk or myself or any. And now here's the thing. Those things don't typically happen anyway, but I'm certainly not going to highlight them on Facebook in front of customers, prospects, and hostesses. Okay, so you want to be very wary of that, because there are people who they kind of put on their professional hat when they go to shows, but then at home they might be a completely different person, and they allow that to show through on Facebook. That will very quickly discredit your professionalism in your business. Okay, and also if they see, let's say as an example, you're in the fashion industry, you sell Premier Designs jewelry, but yet all of your profile pictures are of you in sweatpants and jeans and wearing no jewelry, they're suddenly going to start discrediting whatever fashion advice you have previously given. Okay, so just something to think about. It's not to say you got to be dressed to the nines all the time, but it is to say that if you are not showing, yes, and that's why it can be controversial, but here's the thing. I'm the same person outside of Facebook as what I am at church, as what I am at premier trainings, as what I am at my jewelry shows, as what I am in my house. I mean, it does not matter. I'm the same person all the time. So that's why for me, it's not an issue. It's not an issue. I don't have one person I am one time and one person I am another time. So for me, it's not an issue, but if for anyone out there watching this, if it is an issue, then you might want to avoid friending your customers and such. Yes, yes, okay. So there again, that is totally up to you whether or not that's something that you're willing to do. As I said, for myself, I don't ever post anything that I wouldn't want. Yes, being authentic is key. Okay. But I don't ever post anything that I wouldn't want my customers, my hostesses, my prospects to know. I don't post anything that I wouldn't want my pastor to know. Okay. Just saying. So, and perhaps it does help that my pastor is my Facebook friend, but yes, it just something to think about. Okay. If you are a negative Nelly on Facebook, you might not want to add your hostesses and your customers and your prospects. Okay. If you are somebody who's a completely different person in your private life, as what you are in. I'm sorry, I need to push something over here. If you know, but if you're somebody who's completely different in your private life than what you are in your public life, then you might not want to do that. Okay, and that's why it is controversial. But for myself, I'm the same person. It doesn't matter. I I just am. People are either going to like me or they're not, and I'm okay with that. I know that I'm not always going to be everybody's cup of tea, and I'm just fine with that. Okay, but I don't want to have to pretend, if that makes sense. So I have just developed a lifestyle that I can be happy with, that I can be comfortable with, that I feel good in my own skin, and I don't have to worry about who's watching because I'm not doing anything I shouldn't be doing. So I'll just say that. Okay. All right. So that was our 7. So real quick, I'm going to do a quick rundown just in case anybody missed. Okay. So 1 was build your network. 2 was communication. 3, yes. Yeah. God is always watching. And that's when I really started paying attention to the fact that God sees everything. It was kind of like, ooh, so you mean even if this person doesn't see, he does, and even if that person doesn't see, he does. So I've started living in a way that I can be proud of who I am, and that God can be proud of who I am. All right, 3 was email marketing. 4 is repeat customers are the bomb. All right, so you want to make sure that you're keeping them happy. 5, loyal customers make great referral centers. So there again, make sure you're giving them a reason to want to refer you. 6, be willing to go the extra mile. And 7, be willing to get friendly with your customers. All right, so that's typically going to be on social media, but that could also be, inviting them to something that's not necessarily asking for a sale, but is inviting them to something where maybe they can come get their jewelry cleaned, or maybe they can whatever. So inviting them to your home and that kind of thing, for events that are about your business, but not necessarily for the purpose of getting a sale or trying to get a booking or trying to get them to join your team, but more as a let me be here to serve you. And yes, even just to invite them to coffee. If you had somebody that you really connected with, to be able to call them up and say, hey, I'm gonna be in your area on such and such a day. Could I treat you to a cup of coffee? All right. If it's no, it's no. But whatever. If it's yes, then you have the ability to build more of that relationship. So just remember that building those relationships is going to be key to you having a better business. Anita, thank you so much for asking. As of now, this particular week, he has work, but we're not sure what Monday holds yet. So we're kind of holding our breath again. So he was off for a week, worked last week and this week, and now we're just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen for next week, because evidently we did find out that there's a job site coming up, but the job itself doesn't start for another couple weeks. Apparently they're wanting him to be on that job site, so therefore they're not really wanting to commit him to another job site at this time, and there's not really a lot of small jobs for him to be able to go on yet. So that's kind of what's happening, because typically what happens is when he gets out onto a job site, even if it's supposed to be just temporary, whoever is there tries to keep him. So their fear is if they put him on a job site, even to be temporary, that when it comes time for this other site to start up down south of us, that they will be struggling to be able to get him back from those supervisors. Yes, he is an extremely hard worker, and I know that's why this is kind of very difficult for him, because he's going, look, if you guys know I'm a hard worker, I don't want to be sitting at home. Like, as much as we want Premier to be his full-time job eventually, And as much as we think that that's kind of what God's trying to prep us for now, we also have a lot of debt that we are looking to pay off in terms of car payments and credit card bills from when we were in our younger years and we didn't quite have our heads on straight. Also from when we were literally going paycheck to Wednesday and didn't have enough money for things even such as gas or clothes and that sort of thing. As far as how David helps with Premiere, he truly does just about everything. The only thing he does not do at this point is paperwork. Everything else he does. He does his own shows. He helps with trainings. He helps with opportunity presentations. He helps with even the backside things of, helping with getting hostess packets ready, stamping catalogs, stamping receipt forms, any of that. Takes things to the post office if I need, whatever. So he helps in a lot of different ways, really. The only thing he doesn't do is input things into Hidden House. Yes. Well, and I'm trying like crazy. Everybody, it's so funny because everybody who meets David, they're like, you need to hold a class and invite guys to come see what it is that you do. And he just kind of laughs and goes, something tells me most of the men probably wouldn't come even if I did offer it. The ladies might want their men to come, but whether or not the men themselves would come, many times a completely different story. But yes, David is one of the few men in Premiere that I know of who does do actual shows. There are other husbands out there who do that, so please don't mistake what I'm saying. There are other husbands out there who do that, and there are other men who have signed up to be the jeweler themselves. They're not even here helping a wife or anything. They're doing it themselves. But there's not a whole lot of husbands out there who actually go out and do their own shows. David does that mainly if I am in need of help in terms of if I already have a show scheduled for a certain day and time and somebody else really needs that day and time, then he will go do one show with our youngest daughter who is almost 16, and I take the oldest daughter who will be 18 in July. And we each go do our own shows. He has his own kit, he has his own display, all his own folders and pens and everything. He basically has his entire show kit, and I have one entire show kit, and then plus we have a loaner. His support is letting you go and do as you need. Yes. For some husbands, that's as much support as you're going to get, and that's okay. That's totally okay. It's each person has to know what works well for them. For David, it came down to he enjoys this much more than he enjoys his current type of employment, which is pipe fitter. So he's in construction and that kind of thing. But he really does love this line of work. And the reason is because he had wanted to get into ministry. And for him, he views this as a way that he has an opportunity to be able to meet people that he would never be able to meet inside a church. So that's what first drove him to really want to be a part of this. Was what a surprise to us that he wanted to help. Is that what you mean? I will say he was okay, yeah. So he was always incredibly supportive. But initially it was that he was supportive in, this is your thing, go for it, I support you, go have fun, do your thing, I'll see you when you get home. He would at least help load the car. But initially I got everything else ready and did all that, and he would hang with the kids and make sure, like, he would cook dinner for us at night, whatever, which he tends to cook dinner most nights anyway, but that's a whole different thing. But anyway, needless to say, it was a different level of support that he offered at that time. And then he decided he really wanted to jump on board and he wanted to go gung-ho with this. But it was, well, we need to be doing 50 or 60 shows a year. And at that time, I was only doing like 11 per year. And yes, there is still hope. And he, after his first rally, after going to his first rally, it was, hey, we need to do this, and we need to do this, and we need to do this, and I'm like, okay, that's great. Are you gonna help? And he's like, oh no, I still work full time. I'm not gonna work full time and then come home and help with this and blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, then you need to let me determine how much I want to work. And that's what our show schedule will be based on. And he noticed that the more he helped me, the more shows I was able to do. And then I guess it was about 4 years ago, he started really getting involved in to the point of he was involved in every single training. He was involved, he was helping even at regional rallies. He was volunteering to help there, and he was helping, as much as he could in every aspect. And then all of a sudden he says, you know what, I think I want to try doing jewelry shows, but only if you need me to. And so that started about 4 years ago. So for the last 4 years, he's been on occasion doing shows. Now, I would say that he probably at most maybe only does, I'm going to say maybe 5 to 10 shows per year, because there's times where we both have one scheduled and then one or the other has to cancel or reschedule. And so then we both go to the show together. But he's been going to every single show with me as long as he's not working for the last probably 4 years. Yes. So it's been an awesome thing. And like I said, our hope and plan is for within the next 4 to 5 years for him to be able to be doing this with me full time, and us being able to just do this together. But before that, we want to get some debts paid off and try doing it the responsible way, before he just lets that go. So we're thinking, we need to perhaps try and look at maybe being able to do it much sooner than 4 or 5 years, because God's just kind of showing us right now that his stable job isn't seeming all that stable anymore. So that's what we're doing. Do my daughter show an interest in signing up with Premier? Originally, they both did. The oldest has kind of changed her thoughts there a little bit, because she used to be really into fashion, and not that she doesn't still make sure she looks cute, and she is still really into fashion, but she has decided that she might want to put her focus on interior design and photography. Those are two areas that she really enjoys. So she's not quite sure if Premier is something that she wants to do or not. The youngest, who will be 16, as of now, she's still saying that when she turns 18, regardless of what she decides to do for a career, that she would like to do Premier, whether it winds up being a side business or whether it winds up being a full-time career for her. She's not sure yet, but she said regardless she would like to do Premier. And our hope is that next year, or well, it would either be next year or the year after, that both girls would like to come to Rally at least once, as at least a guest. So we'll see. I have a feeling that if they had an opportunity to experience Rally or being able to go to Haven of Hope, I think that would make all the difference in the world for both of them. So we'll see. We have told them both that if either one of them decides that they would like to join when they turn 18, that as our graduation gift to them, we would pay their investment to come in. So they have that option that if they decide this is something they want to do, we're more than willing to be able to help them come into the business by taking care of that investment cost for them for the first year, and then they're on their own. But yeah, it's something that we truly believe in. So I would love to see them both do it, but I'm certainly not going to put my desires, if you will, onto them. That's a choice that I want them to make on their own. So, yes. All right. Well, I'm going to let you all scooch. Tomorrow is Thursday, so that is our Truth Be Told Thursday. So if you had any additional questions that perhaps you didn't get a chance to ask today, please feel free to come back and join us tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it will be an opportunity for you to ask me questions about my business, why I do things certain ways, what I do for what. Like, it's totally up to you. The questions are 100% up to you and whatever it is that you would like to ask. So make sure that you join us tomorrow. And in the meantime, I would just like to wish you all a fabulous day. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day and evening, and look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. So have a great one. Thanks so much for being here. Bye-bye.